r/AskReddit by Redmond ETS. What's the worst thing you've seen or heard someone confess? Patient confessed to me one time that he murdered his wife before coming in. We called the cops to do a wellness check and she was near death but slightly alive. We managed to save her. How much did he get? I honestly don't know. I stopped following my patients as a method to distance myself mentally from the crap I deal with. Treat them while I'm there, then forget about them. I was in the hospital and a woman was on the other side of our shared room. She'd overdosed and I heard her telling the doctor that she hasn't intended to, she just wanted to be too sick for her pimp to make her work that day. I think about that lady often. I hope she's in a better spot these days. Saw a guy confess to his girlfriend at a party that he'd been lying about where he was spending his weekends. Turned out he was gambling their savings away. I was hanging out at a biker bar I used to frequent when I was in college. Earlier that day, a Muslim woman pushing a stroller had been run down crossing the road at a crosswalk. It was a hit and run, and the driver wasn't caught. Both mother and baby died. While at this bar, a very obviously intoxicated man came in and started loudly boasting that he was the one who ran over this woman and baby. I guess he assumed since the clientele mostly resembled him, gruff old white men, they would be violent racists like him too. He got 50% of that assumption correct. When I say I've never seen the mood of an entire bar change so quickly. The bartender immediately called the cops and turned a blind eye while the patrons took it upon themselves to make sure he wasn't going anywhere. A group disappeared out back with him in tow, and I didn't see what happened between then and when the squad car finally showed and loaded him up, looking a little worse for wear. Someone confessed online that he cheated on his wife and had contracted HIV as a result, but he hadn't told his wife about it. I don't know how I could live with myself if I had done that. My dad told me in 2000 how he burned down the family home in the 80s for the insurance. The day after the fire he found me walking on the railroad tracks and casually mentioned how everyone thought I was in there. His plan was a huge success. He used the money to start his own contracting company and is now a retired multimillionaire. I'm a teacher. I had a parent tell me they hate their child. It really broke my heart. When I asked a guy I was dating why he had pretty much grown up in boarding school instead of with either of his divorced parents. Dad was a doctor, mom was a teacher. He told me that when he was 11 years old, he wanted to live with his father but was told he couldn't. So he plotted and then attempted to murder his mother by whacking her in the head with an axe. She barely survived and was in a coma for 6 months. Someone admitted to me that they used to eat the clumpy bits out of kitty litter when they were a kid. This happened years ago, but still lingers in my mind sometimes. Someone female, know from our church, male, that isn't really just an acquaintance or friend, probably between that category, confessed to me that he owns a USB that's just filled with my pictures and is specifically meant to store my pictures. Not to mention, he uses my name for a character in a game he's playing. I didn't know how to feel or react. Take note, we met in a religious community. Trigger warning. My brother-in-law once told me, if a girl gets essayed at a military branch party, that's her fault. He was ex-military. He would corner me and say disturbing stuff like this on multiple occasions. I don't talk to him or my sister anymore. I tried to talk to my family about how abusive he was, but they sided with him. My cousin burned down his family's garage because it had a Christmas present being stored in it that he didn't want. I watched a man in federal court confess to raping one daughter and making his other daughter record it on video. At sentencing, his wife asked the judge for leniency, which I interpreted as a confession that she was aware. Heard about someone who admitted they never actually loved their spouse. They stayed married for years because it was convenient and they didn't want to be alone. My ex-fiancée contacting me while I was at work to tell me she had been cheating on me and was worried she was pregnant. The only reason she told me was because she spoke to her mom about it and she insisted that my ex tell me immediately. She didn't end up being pregnant, but that didn't make it hurt any less. My co-worker, who did not want to be a mom, got a guy blackout drunk, raped him raw dog, then kept the baby. She's bitter about having a kid. Like, you did that all by yourself, since the dad couldn't consent. People are literally animals, and sometimes they act like it. Ex-friend told me he'd been cheating on his boyfriend, and that he was still having sex with him, and at least 3 other people, despite testing positive for 2 STDs. Well, he can just take medication if he gets anything. A one-night stand confessed to me, after we had done the deed, that she regularly had a thing with her dog. I took a lot of really hot showers after that. I don't know if I'll ever feel clean again. My friend confessed she used to steal money from her job's cash register when she was younger. She quit that job and paid back some anonymous donations later to clear her conscience. That's all, folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.